With over 50 years of pioneering and independent scientific excellence, the Kuwait Institute for Scientific Research has played a significant role in addressing some of Kuwait's most pressing and critical national challenges. Also, the Institute has been the leader in promoting the growth of science and technology in the country, as well as in the Gulf region. Today, in a world that is fronting challenges in different fields, the need for new inventions are essential to make changes and solve problems. The research centers in the Institute are devoted to solving challenges and finding opportunities for the benefit of Kuwait and others by creating inventions.
Petrochemicals and plastic is widely using, and complaint came always that the plastics is making harm and bad vapors, making diseases and cancer. So the idea is you have to understand the behavior. This invention, this patent, will help you to study and measure the softening point of this plastic so you can modify it. So this system will guide the industry to understand the right applications and to know what's the best way or solutions to improve these plastics.
The biggest problem facing the oil industry is the production of water with the oil. This is a big problem because pumping the water with the oil, trying to separate the water from the oil and re-injecting the water in the reservoirs would cost about almost $750. Now what we have done is the material is a polymer composition composed of several components that they start with solution-like and they get injected in the wood bore. Once they transform from solution-like to gel-like, they will close up the water and prevent it from being mixed with the oil.
Stress corrosion cracking is considered one of the most dangerous forms of failure in industries, since it can fail suddenly and without any signs. Therefore, it is very important to test the susceptibility of materials to stress corrosion cracking. We choose to do this invention in the presence of fluids, in moving fluid solutions, which is the actual case in industry. We are using in this technique called circumferential notch tensile specimen, CNT specimen. The flow loop mainly consists of an autoclave for heating and also containing the solution, and a pump for circulating the solution, and a flow meter to determine the velocity of the solution.
As you know, that thermal desalination technologies is considered the backbone of seawater desalination, especially in the Gulf region. So the two most commonly used processes are the multi-stage flash evaporation and the multiple effect distillation. So the idea of this invention is how we can combine them to take the advantage of the reliability of the multi-stage flash in the higher temperature range and take advantage of the multiple effect distillation in the lower temperature range where you have much less chance for scale formation to maximize the water productivity and minimize the energy consumption, because those two processes are very energy intensive.
Under the ground, there is important material, water, oil, gas. These material, when we need to produce this material, we need a borehole, but you can't know how much the quantity of this material and which direction, how it's move, or the depth of this material. The main thing for this patent, we need to inject this tracer in the borehole in specific depth and quantity. The benefit for this approach, can use it for water or gas or oil. Anything underground with the borehole, also in the tank, you can use this invention.
The hydrogen is considered as the most powerful source of energy that can be employed for automobile application as a source of energy, and is also can be applied for fuel cell application for charging mobile devices. So we have prepared a new type of catalyst, so-called metallic glassy zirconium, nickel, palladium, in order to, number one, to reduce the hydrogenation and dehydrogenation temperature to be lower than 200 degrees, and to increase the ability of magnesium hydride to absorb and dissolve hydrogen at lower temperature.
Bacterial contamination on surfaces can be a serious problem in different industries, including the food industries, clinical industries, and petroleum industries. So we apply the nanotechnology and we try to come up with a combination of materials that can inhibit the bacteria attachment to the surfaces. And we find out that our combination we use to coat the surfaces can be inhibited or can be decreased more than 90% from the attachment on each of the food processing surface.
Of course, diamonds is well-known materials that can be employed in different applications. However, the problem of production of nanodiamonds is the cost. In fact, the present invention shows the possibility of getting nanospherical particles of nanodiamonds with the range from 1 to 8 nanometer in diameter. The idea of this way of fabrication is how to employ high energy ball milling process operated at room temperature and under inert gas of helium to mill graphite powder. So employing such forces during milling transform to nanodiamond phase.
One issue the construction industry in Kuwait faces is the scarcity of resources. So for construction, we are importing aggregates, and through research, we look for alternatives always. So we found the byproduct of the sand washing process in sand washing plants is a fine material that can be used as a clay material in conjunction with another waste sources, which are the used lube oil and the sewage sludge. Starting from the raw material we use, the aggregate wash, the other source of waste, the lube oil and the sewage sludge, we run through a very controlled and precise way of mixing, heating at controlled time in the rotary kiln. So this process is run through, and then we get the lightweight aggregate in the end.
The idea of this invention came originally as an educational tool to educate students about the conversion of heat to a mechanical energy. Later on, we found a lot of potential of this engine. The engine has high efficiency and can be used to convert solar energy or from any other source, can be converted to mechanical energy, and then can be converted to an electrical power. The engine, there are two cylinders with fluids, some type of fluid. One cylinder can be heated, the other ones can be cooled down. The fluid in the heated cylinder expand. This expansion will go through a hydraulic pump. The hydraulic pump starts rotating, and that's which converting the heat to a mechanical energy, which then the hydraulic pump can be connected to a power generator, and that converts heat to an electrical power.
This invention is called method of dissipating water wave energy. Construction of port and harbour is a multi-million KD operation. Particularly, country like Kuwait, we don't have good quality stones. To construct port, we have to import good quality stone from abroad. It is very, very expensive. Our invention contains series of vertical porous walls. It will consume only 15% to maximum 20% of the material you need by rubble mount breakwater. And the other advantage, it dissipates energy better when long waves enter into the port. Other merit is can prefabricate easily, and then construction you can do it within few months, whereas rubble dumping will take years.
We have been working on various contaminant issues in ocean, and one of the biggest issue was how to get the top surface layer, which is called the neustonic layer. This neustonic layer is the top 3 to 5 millimeter of the surface, which is concentrated up to 1 million times than the entire water profile. So we designed this instrument to get the surface layer of the seawater. This instrument is based on a principle that it floats. The lower surface of the instrument is concave, so it has a larger contact area and it doesn't create a cone of depression. It elutes sample at a very low rate of 8 milliliter per minute using a micro pump. And it is battery operated, so it can be drifted away from the vessel, or it can be deployed at a remote location. Once this is deployed, it doesn't create a cone of depression, and the top sheen is collected as a sample into a super clean sample bottle, which we deploy at the top of the sampler.
There are hundreds of floating breakwaters around the world. Our floating breakwater, it is easy to construct and then economical, it is elegant, and also it is environment friendly. The floating breakwater structure is a pontoon, like a square or rectangular shaped pontoon. It floats, and then to increase its performance. The performance meaning when you have a wave, high wave here, you should have less wave here on the other side. To increase this performance, what we have done is we have added walls under the structure with perforations. What is the use of this wall? When we add this wall reflects more energy back to the sea, and the perforation, it will destroy more energy. So on the use on this side where you need less wave, you get very, very little wave. So then this area can be used for construction or like offshore oil loading ships, for all the purposes.
Innovation and commercialization of innovations and products is important. This has been a challenge for the Institute for the past few years. And now we feel we are beginning to understand in depth the need of this commercialization business. It is important for us strategically to develop these alliances with the end users, and especially the private sector. Today, KISA is very pleased to have specified days to celebrate with the inventors and to share their ideas, to share their know-how and their experience, and to encourage others to move in their line and to be able to be creative and to develop more innovations. And we'll celebrate again, inshallah, next year.